Can you beat Resident Evil 2 without running? For this challenge, I played as Leon on the assisted mode to first see if it was possible before trying anything on harder modes. The only difference between the assisted difficulty and the other two are that you don't take as much damage as the other two, zombies take less bullets to kill, and you have aim assist. But I turned off aim assist, so my only benefits were easier enemies and more health. There's a few key areas I want to touch on that will make up the majority of this video because they're the most interesting parts of the run. These include the run through Raccoon City, avoiding the Tyrant in the police station, the sewer gator, pretty well all boss fights, and the final timer. Getting through the gas station is pretty easy, but it's horribly terrifying trying to get used to not running with zombies just inches behind you. And we come to the first part that I had initially thought would be impossible. The run, or should I say walk, through Raccoon City to the police station. And let me tell you, it was a walk in the park. I'm not kidding, this part was ridiculously easy. I thought the zombies would be super fast and relentless, grabbing you and ripping you apart at the first chance they could get. But I got through that entire area walking without so much as a little nibble. The zombies chasing me either lost interest, couldn't catch up, or never noticed me in the first place. It was surprisingly easy. I even tried the same thing on hardcore mode and it was the same thing, which proved enemies aren't faster on hardcore than they are on assisted mode. So now we get to the police station. What my strategy was to kill every living or dead thing I saw so that I wouldn't catch the Tyrant's attention if a zombie or licker decided to attack me and I had to shoot. Because the minute the Tyrant saw me, I'd be screwed. And that's what I did. Before getting to that helicopter part, I killed every enemy in the police station I humanly could, and even double checked them with my knife so they wouldn't surprise me later. Which, by the way, I'm extremely against in regular playthroughs. I only knifed them for this challenge. Now we get to the juicy part. Mr. X, aka the Tyrant. Remember when I said that if the Tyrant spotted me, I'd be screwed, and that was the whole reason I killed every enemy I could in the police station? Well, guess what? The Tyrant can't catch you even when walking. Let me repeat that. The Tyrant cannot and will never catch you while you're walking. Quite the killing machine, isn't he? You can just walk away from Mr. X and he'll never catch you. And here I was running from him this whole time. Apparently Mr. X is a fair player. He'll even leave you alone when you go into certain save areas. He's a goddamn honest Abe. Together with the safe rooms and the speed walking granny strat, you're good to go. Honestly, I preferred keeping the Tyrant as my little buddy behind me so he didn't surprise me later as I was trying to gather puzzle pieces. It also helps that he's slightly retarded. He's very easy to lose in the library, and even turning enough corners can make you lose him. Now that the Tyrant was dealt with a little more easily than I thought he would be, we have the first boss fight and the dogs. And yes, I know the Tyrant comes after these parts, but shh, I know what you're thinking. How did he get past the dogs without running? And I have two simple answers for you. Either kill them or walk away from them. Just like Mr. X, the dogs are slightly retarded. 50% of the time they just run around you, and the other 50% of the time they miss you as long as you aren't standing still or walking in a straight line for too long. And the first boss fight is pretty easy as long as you have enough ammo and 2 to 3 health items depending on what difficulty you're playing on. The sewer gator is something I want to touch on. As you can see here, Leon is running away from it. What I want to point out is that he automatically starts running and you can't do anything about it. You can't even stop him running. I didn't click the running button on this part, and if you played this part you know what I mean. I just wanted to bring this up in case anybody mentioned it. This challenge is to see whether I have to press the running button or whether it's even possible to survive without pressing the running button, which I haven't done yet, so it obviously doesn't count. Then we get to Ada's portion. It's easy, the only tough part being when the Tyrant chases you and circles you in the fan room, but it's still doable. Finishing the sewer portion with ease, we now arrive at the second boss battle with Birkin. Again, I thought this part was going to be extremely difficult or even impossible with some insta-kills, but again, I was wrong. This part is incredibly easy. When Birkin first burst his claw through the roof, all I did was walk in a circle. I was expecting him to hit me every time, but he only ended up hitting me once. Now the part I was terrified of. You have to go through a long walkway to get to the battle arena while Birkin chases you. At first, I thought Birkin would insta-kill you if he caught you, or that he would at least hurt you a few times. But, just like the Tyrant in the first run in Raccoon City, as long as you walk without stopping, Birkin can't catch you. This is insane. I couldn't believe how overpowered walking was when I first came across it, but I'll talk about that more in a few minutes. So yeah, after narrowly escaping Birkin at the end of the walkway, we have our boss battle with him, and it's not that different either way. It's just a tad bit harder when you can only walk. And finally, we get to the laboratory. We've made it this far without having to run once in the game. This whole area is easy, and yes, even with the Tyrant chasing you, because remember, he'll never catch you when you're walking. What's important here is the two boss battles, the timer, and a little thing I have to say about Claire and Sherry after Leon's campaign. So, first boss battle with Birkin is very simple as long as you have 3 to 4 healing items. Since I was on easy mode, I beat him pretty quickly. Then you have to run through an obstacle course and beat the Tyrant in his final form, all while a timer is going. I actually ended up beating the Tyrant my first try with more than 5 minutes to spare, and got the trophy in the blink of an eye for killing the Tyrant with 5+ minutes to spare, which is kind of funny. And I have to say, when I walk away from the Tyrant's dead body while holding the rocket launcher, it looks pretty damn cool. I ended up beating the game with more than 4 minutes on the timer. So there you go, it is possible to beat Resident Evil 2 without running. I'm sure you can beat it on normal and hardcore mode without walking as well, but I wanted to see if it was possible on easy first. But wait, there's one more thing I have to say. Claire's story is not possible to beat while only walking, and this is thanks to Sherry. Let me explain. There are 3 portions where the Chief chases you. Once down the hallway and upstairs, once going back out of the room and down the stairs, and again through the original hallway. Now, I wasted 2 hours of my life restarting Claire's campaign just so I could get back to Sherry's part, so you're welcome. So I began this part by just using Sherry's walk, and it was completely impossible. I tried many times and gave up because the Chief always ends up catching you. But Sherry can crouch, unlike Leon and Claire. Why is this important? Sherry crouch walks faster than she walks, and is technically not running, so it's allowed in this challenge. So, what stands in my way now? All I have to do is get to the first door without him catching me, so then he takes a few seconds to lock it, which would give me enough time to get up the stairs and through the final door. Except, the Chief kept catching me at the last second at the first door. I did this part for an entire hour, trying to optimize my movement and cut corners extremely precisely, even putting up my sensitivity so I could turn faster. And I finally did it! I made it to the first door without him catching me. But here comes the second problem. Sherry can't crouch walk up the stairs, she can only slow walk. Again, this screwed me over to the point that he kept catching me at the last second at the second door. But again, after dozens of tries, I finally optimized another route and made it to the second floor door without the Chief catching me, which is what you're watching right now.
You are gonna be so fucking sorry!
Go away! Help! Somebody, please!
You stupid bitch, that's a dead end!
It's easy enough to hide from him, but when you steal his key and try to beat him downstairs, this is when the challenge becomes completely impossible. You can get about 2 to 3 seconds away from the first floor door, as you can see here, but Chief Irons literally yeets himself down the stairs at you, and your crouch walk can't outrun him. That was weird to say. Your crouch walk can't outrun him. Even if you can find a way to outrun him here, he'll catch you in the hallway after breaking down the door with the axe. So technically, yes, you can beat the game without running, but only playing on Leon's campaign. Sherry completely ruins it for Claire.
You little bitch!
If you guys enjoyed this video, which I know you did, click the like button. And be sure to subscribe to me because I make about 3 gaming videos every single week. I'll also be uploading my entire playthrough so that you guys can see that I did finish the entire game while only walking. Which means if you're watching this, it's probably already up. And if you have any more challenge video ideas for Resident Evil 2 for me, tell me in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.